the spirit of the outdoors. Finally felt like getting out of the house today. Matter of fact, I had been in the house as long as I could stand it. So I kind of got out piddling around doing some odd and end things. I noticed my truck tire was low, so I aired it up. While I had the air compressor running, I took my little air sander and sanded the handle down on this knife. Got it together. So I am working on a sheath. I glued it together and I went in there and ate me a hamburger, come out here, so I grabbed my tripod when I started back out the door and just thought I would talk to y'all for a little bit. I know a lot of you have been curious of what's going on. Hopefully we'll get back to making videos regularly like we was doing pretty soon. I'm gonna be honest with y'all right now, I ain't got no energy to do nothing. I mean, this takes all I can do just to, like, out of breath out here talking. So, I had a knife sheath that I wanted to finish this up today. And that gave me something to do, and I picked up some limbs and burned them. Charging up boat batteries. I had a card in there to renew the registration on my boat. Came in October. Of course, I hadn't needed my boat, my scooter boat. So I renewed the registration on it, and I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't going to be long, and I'm going to hook to that baby and go to Tombigbee River. And that's where I'm going to do some crappie fishing. I have never crappie fished up there but once, and I don't know where they are. But it's just a matter of time before I find them. I just had rather fish up there than I had fish at Okeetobee Lake down here. A lot of people love Okeetobee Lake, and if you like to fish Okeetobee Lake, by all means fish it. It is a good lake, got a lot of good crappie in it. However, I just don't like it wide open. I want to get down there on the Tombigbee River's got a lot more places you can get out of the wind, banks. It's just campground. Ain't overcrowded. Okeetobee Lake down there, when the spawn hits, if the crappie's moving and they start biting, there'll be 40 boats in a wad right there, and I ain't gonna fish like that. And everybody else is out there just, riding around basically spider rigging, hoping to find crappie, which is okay. It's not how I like to fish. I like to take a rod and throw it, so I've been charging up boats. It ain't gonna be long. I'm gonna be going to Tombigbee. Number 2 problem is this sickness, y'all, got us right here at Christmas. We ain't get to go to no family gatherings. Ain't get to have no turkey dressing. Ain't get to have. I had a pork loin, y'all, this long. I was gonna butterfly that thing down the middle, fill it full of cream cheese, and coat it with diced jalapeno peppers, wrap that joker in bacon, and put it on that smoker. Oh, let them juices out of that bacon run down into that thing. But no, it's still in there in the freezer. I'm telling you, it ain't been no fun. Brody had a big time, opened his presents. At least he has felt pretty good for the most part. He was sick to beginning, him and Michelle. Brody got over to act like he's fine. Coughed a little bit, but me and Michelle's been roughing it. She was a little better yesterday, but now today's the first day I felt like getting out of the house. But like I said, I've done been sitting in there as long as I could take it, so I ain't got a lot of energy to get out and do everything I want to do. I had plans this week. Y'all seen in a video yesterday. I just had found a good place to deer hunt. I mean, like a bunch of scrapes. Could possibly kill a decent buck right in this area. Just need the canoe to get there. And that's the reason that the deer is in there, is because nobody's hunting them hard in this area, because it ain't easy to get to. Not impossible to get to, just ain't easy. You're going to have to walk a little bit. Well, 2 things. You're going to have a canoe ride to get to this one spot, and then you got to walk a little ways, which I don't mind doing it. But now my problem, I would go hunting this afternoon and go sit down there. But my problem is, if I shot a deer over in there, there's no way I could drag him out. I don't have the energy. I could fight my way out of a wet paper sack right now. So you have to know when to admit your losses, and I hadn't got to hunt none this year. I mean, I done about to this point got frustrated with hunting because I lost first half of the year with a buggy being out of whack, and it still got some issues. Something in that steering still, like if you get it very fast, it'll kind of squirrely feeling. So I think it's the tie rod ends. I need to get in there and check and see what is actually, and get some more parts ordered. But the next thing then working on this back patio has held me up. So I had a lot of things going on, and I just didn't really get into the hunting. And I was like, well, I'm going to get to hunt this week. I'm going to hunt the week of Christmas. I got my canoe on there, and I mean, I done loaded the canoe, my rifles in the gun boot, had my hunting bag in the buggy. All I had to do was go get on the buggy and go. And I'll be doggone if we didn't get sick. So I have spent the last 4 days laid up. And I'm talking about I ain't felt like moving. It still don't feel like going nowhere. Maybe before this week's over, we'll have enough energy to get down there, but I'm scared to push myself. I'll get excited like today and get out here doing stuff, and then next thing I know, I'm sick again because I didn't let my body heal. But I just needed to get out and do some things. I had this pistol out. I shot at squirrels the other day with it, and I missed a squirrel, which was a little further than 20 yards, but I felt like I probably should have hit him. So I got out here shooting, and y'all, I found out real quick that I need to practice just my shooting technique. I used to be a pretty decent shot, and I ain't never saying I was no expert. I'm better with a rifle than I am a shotgun or a pistol by a long shot. But I have missed with some rifle shots, like offhanded shots, that I should have hit. They wouldn't there's like 65, 75 yards. I missed with a 30-30, 2 different deer this year. And both of them does, nothing heartbreaking. But it just frustrated me, and that's why I just put it up. And I was like, well, till I get some meat. And the big thing is, I think, is rushing shots. Like, I need to hurry up, shoot, I need to hurry up. So I just needed some time pulling a trigger, because y'all, you don't realize how much you lose when you quit practicing something. And when ammo went out of sight, well, I quit shooting my guns on a regular basis. I mean, I used to shoot pretty regular. It was nothing for me to come out here and, I mean, even with an AR-15 and set a drink can up out there and shoot holes in it. It didn't bother me none. What was a $20 box of shells? Well, now that $20 box of shells is $50, and you think, I'm going to shoot all them up. Well, used to, $5 bought you 100 rounds for 22. Well, now, that's about $14. So, but I've got me some loose box of those 333 count. And I've been shooting them. They're not the best shells in the world, but it's some loose 22 ammo. You can get it for about $25 a box of them. So I have been out here shooting it some. And I got my group tightened down. It was still shooting consistently, a little bit low and to the left, but not bad. I put some in the orange at 20 yards. And I got a board hanging up out here on my grapevine. And so I have gotten better, but it still ain't what I wish it was. Which this little gun ain't got no adjustable sights. Everything's fixed sight, so you can't adjust anything. But I can learn to compensate once you know what it's doing. But it could be me consistently pulling the same way. I did prop up and shoot it, propped across the top of the barbecue grill where I was steady, and try to take all the human error I could out of it. But still, somebody would say, oh, clamp it to vise, but that don't help me none. It would tell you if you was trying to adjust a gun what to do, but I have never liked shooting a rifle in a lead sled. We've got a Caldwell lead sled over there. Me and my dad neither want to use it. He'd rather shoot off of a sandbag, and I can shoot better off of it. At 200 yards, it is nothing with a good scoped rifle that I can actually see the sights on and see my target. To go down there and put holes nearly touching each other. Well, at 200 yards, usually they're about an inch apart. And have them right in the bullseye. But now with an open sight rifle, I can't do it no more. I can barely keep them in a baseball at 100 now. And it's because I can't see the sights. But so anyway, that's why when you see me going to the swamp right now, I'll be toting one of my rifles with a better set of optics on there. Number one, if there's a decent buck down there to shoot at, I don't want to miss him. And that's the only thing that we can shoot down there. You can't shoot a doe down there this year. So me loading up with meat this year is kind of out of the question, which brings me circling all the way back around to the original conversation. I'd just soon go fishing, you know. I mean, when you ain't got a good place to hunt, it really sucks the energy I want. And I love to hunt, but I mean, it's just a sad reality. I just don't have a place to hunt. So one of these days, I'll probably slam lock my guns up and do nothing but fish. Cause I mean, I ain't gonna compete. Like on public land, you gotta race people in town. If they find out you're hunting a spot, you know, like, well, he's going in here, I'm gonna stay. Must be something, I'm gonna go. And that's the way those people think. And and the only reason I'm going in there is because there wasn't nobody going in there, you know. But I have done that 2 years ago. Well, I'll go back and tell you a story. I killed a good deer down there. It's probably been 8, 9 years ago. I killed a 12 point down there. And I looked up and killed him. I just had went down there to a place that I like to go sit on the edge of the creek. And I had found a trail coming through there. And I was like, well, this is a good place. A lot of white oak acorns in there. So I went there and sat down. And I was literally sitting there picking up white oak acorns that were sprouting and putting them in my pockets. And I heard this deer coming. And I got up and I was trying to get my scope on this doe that was running through the woods. And she was running at breakneck speed. And then she never stopped. And I was going, yeah, yeah. She never stopped, and I'm like, what in the world? Why wouldn't she stop? And by that time, I seen one coming behind her with a rack of horns like this, and I shot him on the run and broke him down. Well, they wasn't nobody hardly hunting this swamp up until then. I mean, they wasn't a lot. And man, when that picture of that deer circled around, that he was killed on that Nano Warrior Management area, everybody and their brother wanted to hunt it then. And they might have been... There's probably been 5 or 6 good deer killed on it since then, but it's not like consistently growing giant deer. And I have seen a couple of decent bucks on it in the last few years, but I just wasn't sharp enough to get a shot at them. A lot of my problems been in the canoe. By the time I seen them, they had done been watching me and was ready to go, which is why I painted it green. But hopefully, things will settle down. I'll get to go down there and hunt a little bit, but I got my boat batteries charged up, my boat registration renewed, and it ain't gonna be much for me to be crappie fishing and hooked to my camper. And I'm gonna take that thing up there and I'm gonna spend about 3 or 4 days on that Tombigbee River with my boat and my camper, and I'm just gonna fish and relax. So anyway, y'all, I just wanted to touch base with you, let y'all see that I was still alive. I know everybody wants to know what we got for Christmas. Me and Mama don't do a whole lot for each other for Christmas. I did get a pair of Ray-Bans, and no, I ain't got them on. I got more cheap sunglasses. I got a thrift store on my head. But I got her a pair of boots from a local store up here at town. It's a designer. It's about $150 pair of boots. Like, not cowboy boots, but like dress boots, sort of, whatever you'd call them. Anyway, I had one of the ladies up there help me pick them out, for y'all that's wondering. I couldn't tell you what name they was or nothing. I said, what's popular? I like these. These look good. And I did pick out what I thought looked good. And Mama liked them. Oh, I'll try to get a picture later on sometime. We'll show what we got. But I did finally get a name brand pair of sunglasses, but you probably won't see them a whole lot because if I start wearing them, I'll scratch them all up and destroy them. So I'll just leave them in there in the case. That way I have them a long time. Anyway, y'all, I'm fixing to go feed some chickens and do some pinner. I need to pick some turnip greens or something out here to cook. Probably don't need to eat no turnip greens right now, but I'm going to tell you, I ain't ate nothing that was filled me up or had any taste to it. Everything's just been, you know. So, thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one.